Hi, I'm Marcus Widitor.
And I'm Patrick Hennessey. We're both sophomores at Pittsfield High School, and this is our project, garbage blanket. You want to start?
Me and Patrick are pretty avid picnic goers. We like to go out on beaches and parks and pretty much enjoy nature, beauty, while at the same time eating our lunch. Unfortunately, there are a lot of parks and a lot of beaches. There's nowhere to be found a garbage can or recycling bin. So, most people just litter. Unfortunately, littering pollutes our environment, and as you probably know, is harmful to our health and animals' health.
So pretty much we figured that if we could make a picnic or a beach blanket that is combined with reusable garbage holders or recycling holders, it would be easy to remember to bring the garbage holders. They would be convenient to bring, like nothing extra to carry around, and it would cut down on littering a lot. And especially if they're reusable, they're better than just bringing a plastic bag to put your garbage in, because they're not reusable, not recyclable, they're not really good for the environment either. So we figured if we just sort of combine the two concepts, we could come up with something. So yeah, we used a lot of different materials. We tried testing a lot of different ones, and we ended up basically with these three. It's polyester for the top, this vinyl on one side, polyester on the other, that's the bottom layer, and then PVC on one side, polyester on the other side, that's our pouch making layer. And we did a lot of tests on them. Marcus can talk about the test probably.
What we did was we tested it for its durability by taking an X-Acto knife and trying to puncture through it. We also tested the waterproofness of all the materials. Do you want to do that?
Do you want to? Here, we'll show you an example of how we tested the water.
Great.
Water resistance, I guess. So here, I'll do the funnel. Just pour the water in. Did this over a sink, but since we don't have one, we used a little pan. So pretty much first we start out, we put just a few drops of water. You see it's not soaking through, and we can pour it off easily, so that means it was pretty good. Then we did a pretty constant stream. Yet again, it's not going through, it's just sort of beating up, washing right off. And on the other side, see, still no wetness. And then the last was we'd put this up around the faucet, wrap it up around the edge of the faucet, run the water, and if it wasn't waterproof, it would just run through the bottom. But in this, it was sprayed out the sides because it was waterproof. So that was pretty much using that as well as tests for durability, flexibility, and texture. That was pretty much how we decided which to use. Then we had adhesives. Marcus is really the adhesive guy.
Alright. We had 5 original adhesives. We first eliminated 3 of them by taking pieces of paper, seeing how they stuck those pieces of paper together when you ripped it off. 3 of them were eliminated because they didn't stick together very well at all. So the remaining 2, Gorilla Glue and CLL.
So we have pictures of both of the last 2. So we did further tests because we needed to narrow down which one was the best. So you want to demonstrate the test?
Yeah. What we did was we tried gluing it together. This top layer material and this bottom layer material, like so. Then we tried to pull it apart for each separate adhesive, and CLL turned out to be the best because the actual fabric failed before the adhesive did, so it's an extremely strong adhesive.
Same result for this one, because the pouch we make by adhering it to itself, you see along that line, we just folded the pouch in half like that. We applied on one of the samples CLL to the edges, and on the other one Gorilla Glue, and when we pulled it apart, the Gorilla Glue took a lot of effort, but we were able to pull it apart. The CLL, however, we ended up ripping the material before we could pull the CLL apart. So we figured because it worked best for that test and for this test, it was the best adhesive. And then we made a small prototype. So Marcus made most of the prototype himself.
Prototype, we encountered some difficulties that we learned from. One being we didn't apply enough adhesive, so it easily just came out. Alright, so taking what we learned, we made the full-scale model, unfortunately,
which is right here.
There's a huge one, hey?
Yep.
Fortunately, we found another problem in making in this full-scale pouch, and that problem was attaching the Velcro strips to each other.
Yeah.
Totally sealed. They actually sealed the inside together, so we want to be able to open it. So when we tried to open it, as before, the material failed. So we had to redo that, and we remedied that by using this as an example. This would be a thin metal sheet. We'd put it inside.
Oh.
Prevent them from sticking together.
So while it was drying,
Right.
it would still, the Velcro would still dry onto the pouch, but it would not, the pouch would not seal itself shut. And then the last problem we encountered was when we were putting adhesive on these edges here, some of it started to bubble up in this white material. We were afraid that I mean, it was really horrible to look at. It looked kind of just gross. And we were also afraid that it might weaken the fabric overall. However, when it was fully dried, as you can see, it's not bubbled up and it's perfectly strong. There's no real way of separating it. You know, it's pretty durably made. So I guess, all in all, it worked out pretty well. And we solved the problem that we were set out to solve. And then we have a few other things that we decided we might be able to use the pouches for. So.
A couple other uses for blanket besides having the garbage in. You can actually use it as a replacement for your picnic basket and put your sandwiches and stuff in there. Also, you can like put reading materials like books, magazines in there if like you're going to the beach. Alright, and some future applications that might want to be looked into was using these as coolers.
We can apply insulation to the sides and like ice packs to the inside. That way you could put sodas or cold sandwiches or whatever in there and keep them cold.
Also another one was putting little travel pillows inside of the pouches so that you can lay your head on it and it'll be very comfortable.
So that's, I guess, just about it. We had to make this big lab write-up notebook. That was a big part of it. Just pages and pages and pages and pages. But and then we made the poster. So yeah, I guess that's just about it.